TVICTV. Trying to stop nuclear terrorism. Today, the whole world watched the mission of the IAEA specialists who went to the Zaporizhzhia NPP. 14 European specialists left Zaporizhzhia in the direction of Energodar early in the morning. Specialists led by Rafael Grossi had to wait several hours at a checkpoint near Zaporizhzhia due to constant shelling from the occupiers. After lunch, they managed to get to the territory of the NPP. The first violations were found almost immediately. Russian equipment stood right in the workshops of the NPP. The Russians didn't even try to hide anything. Instead, they shelled the territory of the nuclear plant with mortars right before the inspection arrived. They also hit residential buildings with helicopters. The IAEA has to give its assessment as to whether this can be called nuclear terrorism. We have a very important mission to perform. As you know, we are going to begin an immediate assessment of the security and situation at the station. We plan to talk with the employees at the ZNPP and establish contact with them. I will explore the possibility of establishing a permanent presence of the IAEA at the station. This, in our opinion, is necessary to stabilize the situation at the station. Also to receive regular, reliable, unbiased and neutral updates of information about what is happening at the ZNPP. Wish us luck. Today, the new academic year began in most schools. Because of the war, 300,000 students sat down at their desks less than last year. In general, almost 4,800,000 children started their studies face-to-face, more than 1 million, online, the rest, in a mixed form. Almost 500,000 young Ukrainians living abroad study in Ukrainian educational institutions. As a result of Russian shelling, more than 2,000 premises of educational institutions were damaged, almost 300 schools were completely destroyed. Despite everything, the students sat down at their desks. In the occupied Kherson region, 100 educational institutions have started training according to the Ukrainian program. Yuri Sobolevsky, the first deputy chairman of the Kherson Regional Council, announced this. He noted that the occupiers cannot even create a picture as if they are preparing for a pseudo-referendum. How will they form election commissions? Or will they count the number of voters in the region? Residents of Kherson region, despite intense pressure, do not support the invaders and refuse to tell them their data. The Russians, on the other hand, block the receipt of Ukrainian payments. Orcs, in fact, destroyed the Ukrainian banking system in the Kherson region. They completely blocked the work of UkrPochta, precisely so that our people could not receive help from Ukraine. Today they give out their money, these bloody rubles, to bribe our population. Donetsk region suffers from dense enemy attacks. At least 13 settlements were shelled during the day. In the conditions of active hostilities, the new school year began for more than 100,000 children in the region. With details, our correspondent, Konstantin Melnikov. At least 13 settlements in Donetsk region came under enemy fire during the day. The raiders aimed at residential quarters. Rockets also landed in the area of the reservoir. In Kramatorsk, which suffered a powerful rocket attack the day before, at least 12 high-rise buildings were damaged.
Lord, when will this all end?
Fortunately, there were no casualties. Most of the residents of the building managed to evacuate. According to preliminary information, the invaders hit with an S-300 missile.
We are not even looking for the logic of the occupiers, the logic of their shelling. It probably consists in the fact that the worse the better. And hitting such civilian objects as now is terror against the local population.
The fact that Russia terrorizes the civilian population is also proven by the statistics of losses. Only yesterday, 5 residents of the region died as a result of enemy attacks. Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, almost 800. 124 of them are children. On the eve of the Day of Knowledge, the dead children were honored in one of the schools in Kramatorsk. Schools are the most common target for Russians in Donetsk region. Almost 600 educational institutions have been damaged in the region since February. 60 of them were completely destroyed. Despite this, the school year has started in the region. However, you will not see students in the schoolyards here. Today we start the new school year online. It is unfortunate, but war dictates its terms. The online academic year has now begun for more than 100,000 schoolchildren from Donetsk region. Most of them left for safer regions. With those who still remain, the law enforcement officers are conducting explanatory work, urging them to evacuate. We visit all large families, offer them evacuation, provide an information card. This card contains the contacts of all volunteers, Ukrainian and international. Volunteers help in finding housing, work, etc. During the month of mandatory evacuation, the police of Donetsk region took almost 2,000 families with many children out of shelling. And these are 6,500 babies. Now they have a chance to study not only remotely. From Donetsk region Kostiantin Melnikov, Dmitro Matvienko, Oleg Symbolyuk, Fakti, ICTV, Jedoni Noviny. Another 450 occupiers died in the past day thanks to the defense of the armed forces of Ukraine. The enemy suffered the greatest losses in the Donetsk and Kharkiv directions. In general, starting from February 24, approximately 48,350 invaders were liquidated. The Russian army lost almost 2,000 tanks on Ukrainian lands. Our defenders burned more than 4,300 armored vehicles, more than 1,100 artillery systems. Also, the occupiers did not count almost 300 rocket systems of salvo fire, more than 150 means of air defense. More than 850 drones and 234 aircraft. The Army of the Russian Federation no longer has more than 200 helicopters and more than 3,300 units of automobile equipment. And also 15 ships. In the Black Sea, the enemy keeps 3 ships with 20 Kalibr missiles on standby. Russian troops stepped up. This morning, 2 Onyx-type missiles were fired at Odesa. They started from Crimea. Our anti-aircraft defense destroyed 1 missile, the second hit an open area. There was no damage or casualties, the operational command of the South reported.